Okay, guys, what is up? This is OG Senpai here today to review One Piece, chapter 746. Now, listen, guys, this chapter is actually a good setup chapter, but obviously we'll get through the basics and then we'll dive into the chapter itself. The basics, pacing, artwork, and story progression. Pacing was actually good. I'm gonna give that rating as good because the pacing was actually really good at this part. It actually divided up different sections of the chapter really well. And when it comes to the artwork, the artwork was actually, I thought the artwork was good plus because, we see all this chaos going around, Oda showing the birdcage, everything else. So the artwork actually was pretty good. And when it comes to story progression, I'm going to give that a rating of good because it basically progressed the story to the point where we now know that Luffy, Zoro, and Law are now going to head to go fight Doflamingo. The bounties are being placed now, and chaos is ensued. So I'm gonna give that a rating good. Now, when it comes to the chapter, the chapter itself emphasizes a lot on the idea of carnage and destruction and chaos. And because obviously it's the bird cage, no one can get in, no one can get out. No, there's like the reception's really bad there. No one can like hear anything, no one can hear you, and it's basically gonna be um, like no one will know what actually happened. Now we see all this chaos going on. Civilians killing themselves, killing their families, and it's just Doflamingo just harping over the intercom. Oh yeah, foo foo foo, yo, this is a fantastic. And he's just like waving his arms around and just gloating. But basically, he actually gives a hit list, and a hit list are 12 people that are on his mind that these people need, that the citizens need to kill in order for them to win the game, or they can just go and kill Doflamingo. And the 12 people, basically, it works as stars. Uh, each person has a certain amount of stars that probably display how strong they are or important. And they basically, we have Frankie, Violet, Kinemon, and Rebecca. They have 1 star, and 1 star equals 100 million berry. So that's them. And when it comes to Zoro and Kairos have 200 berry, 200 million berry because they have 2 stars. And when it comes to Luffy, Sabo, Law, King Riku, yeah, that's pretty much it. They have 300 million berry on their heads. That's a bounty technically, and they now have yeah, they basically have 3 stars, and of course 4 stars is 400 million, and 5 stars. Guess who has 500 million berry bounty on their head now? Usopp, and I thought that was funny, but you see Usopp, and this is the dude apparently that Doflamingo hates a lot. Like he like this is the shithead that gave me so much hell. You guys, this guy's worth 500 million berry bounty. Catch him, like you can catch him too. And it's like, yo, dude, because Usopp technically didn't really do anything except for freak out. Although he did complete the mission technically, but all he did was just freak out an innocent young, well, not innocent, but a young girl. And at that point, I love the nickname that they give him. They give him the nickname of God. I thought that was funny as hell because Usopp didn't even do anything. Like they're putting him on the Jesus status. I just thought that was so funny. But now apparently since Usopp has such a high bounty on his head now, thanks to Doflamingo, um, he like everyone that thought he was a god now is actually turning on him because that's a lot of money, and they're like, oh, forgive us, God Usopp, despite the fact that you saved us, that's a lot of money, so we're gonna kill you now. And of course the Tontada help Usopp get out of there. So I thought that was really funny. Now when it comes to the other parts of the chapter, uh Bartolomeo and Kinemon. Okay, so Bartolomeo, and mind you, I love Bartolomeo's character, but because I thought it was really funny. Um, he sees Robin and Usopp, and he's like all, he's basically fanboying over them. He's like, oh, it's Robin Senpai, and he's just holding his chest like he's all like feeling and shit. And then like he sees Robin, and then he sees Usopp, and then he's all fanboying. And of course we see Sabo. Sabo's like, yo, well, will you stop doing that shit? Like that's annoying as hell. And we see Fat Hack in the background. I thought it was funny as hell. I was like, Hack's like, yo, my arm is still kind of fucked up by that guy. I can't believe this. So it was really funny. But we see basically that they have now that they have hits on them, they basically have to leave. Like they have to leave immediately, and they try to head back to the surface or underground. I forget which one. Either to the surface or underground. I'm not too sure. But yeah, it's basically them. And then Bartolomeo holds back some of the men so that they can get out of there. And basically, like we see Rebecca. Now Rebecca, Luffy makes a promise to her that I really think is interesting. And he says, I'm sad that the fact that I couldn't get you the Mary no Me, because of the whole tournament thing. But I promise you, I will kick Doflamingo's ass. And I'll get to that later in the video, but I think that's interesting, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Now, of course, in the movie, we see Rebecca. She's about to cry. I'm like, oh my gosh, little Oda. I understand that her past is really sad, but Oda, stop doing that shit, bro. Like, it's not cool anymore. Like, it really isn't. But I mean, whatever. I really don't care that much. I'm not gonna complain. I'm not really. But basically, we see Rebecca. She's just trying to figure out like what the toy soldier, aka Kairos, her father looks like, and basically, Luffy makes that promise to her. Now, when it comes to Kinemon is now trying to find Kanjuro. He leaps down the scrap heap to go find him, and the people are on his ass, and so basically, yeah, Kinemon's on the run. Now, when it comes to Kairos is now trying to just take down anybody that he sees that is a threat. And the reason why probably is because he doesn't really care. He's like, yo, I'm gonna take down Doflamingo. I don't even care. I'm gonna just go and hit on straight. So we see Kairos trying to defend himself against them, and then of course King Riku's like, you idiot. Now when it comes to Luffy, Law, and Zoro, Robin calls in and makes sure everyone's okay, everyone's fine. Of course, Zoro answers is like, yeah, we're all good, we're all okay. But Luffy gets on there and he basically like is like just trash talking Doflamingo's like, man, what the fuck, man? Like Doflamingo's just a bitch ass nigga. What the fuck is that? And of course we see Law. Now what Law says is really important, and that's gonna lead into what I'm saying at that near the end of the video. The reason why Law said what he did was because the reason, like, because he wanted Doflamingo and Kaido to clash heads and fight each other. And obviously, Kaido's probably way stronger than Doflamingo, so Kaido's going to win overall. And that's going to kill Doflamingo. And all the Straw Hats had to do was just destroy the factory, and they wouldn't get blamed because it would all be Doflamingo's problem. But the thing is, with Luffy's promise to what he made to Rebecca about kicking Doflamingo's ass, he says, listen, if Doflamingo is defeated by our hands, you do realize that we'll have Kaido on our ass now. And Kaido will have one pissed off Yonko on us, and that's a problem. And Luffy obviously is like, I don't care. Look at this country. Look at how fucked up it is. What makes you think I'm just sit here and just stare and just be happy? I'm going to save the day. And of course that shows Luffy's character. Despite the fact that he's a pirate, despite the fact he doesn't call himself a hero, when people are oppressed, he does feel responsible, and that's why he tries to go and he does what he does best, kicking ass and then beating the final villain. But the reason why I'm saying that connects into this problem we'll talk about is when it comes to Luffy. Is Luffy strong enough to defeat Doflamingo? Because think about it. Usually when Luffy promises something, he tries his hardest, and usually, most of the time, he actually, follows through, and he ends up defeating that villain. But my thing is Luffy strong enough to take on Doflamingo? Because you have to think about it. Because at this point, a fight with Kaido is inevitable. Like there's no because Doflamingo will get defeated by either Luffy or by a combination of Luffy and maybe his crewmates, or a combination of Luffy and Law. He's going to get defeated. So the thing is that can he take on Doflamingo? And if he takes on Doflamingo, if Kaido comes into the island and starts to fuck shit up, will they be able to escape? Because obviously at that point, Luffy will not be able to Luffy will be so fucked up that they're on the floor, not being able to move. Sorry about that, my computer jigged a little bit. But at that point, it's like you really have to wonder: is Luffy strong enough? Can Luffy handle it? And I can't say for sure because we haven't seen Luffy go all out after the time skip. Matter of fact, we haven't seen any of the Straw Hats go all out, so I don't know. But basically, at the end of the chapter, we see Luffy. He heads over towards Doflamingo's palace, with Law in one arm and then Zoro in the other. He's like, "Yo, I'm coming for you, Doflamingo." So yeah, we're getting to a lot closer towards the final fight now, and basically that's the end of the chapter. So fuck man, like I don't know. I mean, if Luffy can do it, go ahead. But I think personally that if Luffy can at least fuck with Doflamingo, then I doubt that he can fuck with Kaido. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Because Kaido's way stronger than Doflamingo. That's obvious. He's a Yonker. So let me give it the rating. I'm gonna give this a good plus rating. Oh, excuse me. A rating of good plus. It's a good setup chapter. Not that bad. So yeah. Like the video if you like it. Dislike it if you don't. Rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. I'm OJ Senpai, and I'm out. Peace, guys.